Hey everyone, it's Sabrina. I am going to do another book journal video. This one is just going to be June and my recap. For this one, I did a little bit of a different layout for the books on the right hand side. I did them more vertical instead of horizontal. And it's also just because I read more books in June. So I started out with a blue washi strip up at the top to kind of match the main book, but I'm going to quickly change that because it was just bugging me and it was too bright. It was like in your face blue kind of, and so I felt like it took away from the spread more than anything. So I put down, as usual, the quote, and then I'm going to draw in the boxes to write the pages read and then one statistic that I choose. Usually I just choose something at random, or I just research something that the books have in common. I don't draw these boxes the same size. I want to, but I don't, and that's okay. I just draw them the best that I can. I put some yellow washi tape up at the top. I love framing in both of the pages. So this is where I rip out the blue, and I found like a soft pink that I could use for the top of the page, and I like that much better. I'm using that cardboard piece to kind of give my washi a cleaner edge when I rip it. It works somewhat. I usually use a plastic card that I don't use anymore, but I couldn't find that. So below the favorite book of the month, I put the list, and then of course I put the genres below these two boxes that I'm drawing right now. These boxes usually have paper and then Kindle. So the books that I read that are physical copies, and then Kindle books. And I wind up messing up one of the boxes and trying to use a whiteout pen to fix it. It kind of fixed it, kind of not, but that's okay. The most important thing for me is just to journal about my books and just get a documentation of my books throughout the month. I started off June with a middle school book, 1,000-Year-Old Boy, literally about a boy that is 1,000 years old, and now he's into modern times and he winds up making a friend, and he wants to not be 1,000 years old anymore. I also read another amazing middle school book called The Insignificant Events in the Life of a Cactus. It's about a girl who has no arms, and it's just really interesting book about how she comes into her own. So I just loved those two books. But the one that I really loved was Nature of Fragile Things. It was about the 1906 earthquake in San Francisco. And so it was just a fascinating book about, the different people and how the stories come together and just what happened, but leading up to that earthquake and then afterwards. Okay, so the bottom left, like I said, I just make a list of all the books that I read, try to squeeze them all in because I think I read 9. So it's cutting close to the bottom, but I'm able to make it work. Okay, so now I am stamping the amount of pages that I read. I counted it up and then I came back. And for that random box where I put a statistic, I decided to put 3 middle school books. And then I read 2,758 pages, which is pretty good. 9 books is about my average for what I read in a month, including a few graphic novels, which are totally fine with me in reading because I call those book cookies. And then I just kind of counted up what kind of different genres I had, and then I put the genre in a little bit of a bolder pen and then just wrote out the actual genre. So like 1 historical fiction, 1 graphic novel, 2 romances, and something like that. So that way I could get a general gist of the genres. Just finishing up my favorite quote from the book. Usually I use a quote that I highlighted when I was reading, or I took a picture of with my phone, or else I just go to Goodreads and find a quote. I am stamping June, and then I will do when I read the books and when I finished the books. So I don't include the Nature of the Fragile Things. I don't include that one because obviously that one is over on its own area. And then I added a few washi strips down at the bottom right since I had some extra room, and that about finishes up this spread. I love making these book journal pages, and they're just so fun to make. I remembered that I needed to do a little sentence about kicking off the summer with a great book month, so I just wrote that in on the journaling card, and now this spread and my book spread for June is done. So I hope you guys enjoyed seeing this quick page come together. I'd love a thumbs up or a subscribe if you're new to my channel. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye.